There was a lot of 411 being dropped at EA's Gamescom event, self-bloviating marketing tactic, here to discuss for Battlefield 1. First was the patch that came out yesterday making Lupkow Pass available to all Premium Pass owners, the first map for the In the Name of the Tsar DLC. Unfortunately, the only thing that was included with this DLC besides the map is the ability to play as Sir Lancelot on your horses for all maps, as giving access to all of the guns would be far too good of an idea to actually implement, considering that this game is more starved than an Olsen twin. They also brought Frontlines, a game mode that's supposed to be only in DLC, into 2 more vanilla maps, but they picked Mont Grappa, where that underground bunker area, it's more of a grinder than a gay dating app, and Ballroom Blitz, which should be renamed Catwalk Cunt. Other than slight tweaks to UI, spectator mode, weapon animations, and sound effects, along with the invite system, the only other decent things in this patch are tweaks to making the horses better, since that's what they fucking worked on for the new cavalry class anyways, and improvements to the shitty spawn system to not spawn into enemies when spawning on objectives, and prevent the spawn training. Chugga chugga, fuck you! And even though there's a CTE to test out patches before they go live, more on that later, this new update that's devoid of any meaningful fixes like server browser for operations and renter server program features along with other prominent requests has actually completely broken shotguns in an unintended nerf to the tune of 0 hit registration, along with regressing the battle pack system to the RNG bullshit that everyone hated instead of looking at a meter to actually dangle that carrot in front of you. Thanks a lot, DICE. 1 step forward, 2 step backwards. Even though we can only play on 1 map for In the Name of the Tsar DLC, 2 maps, Brusilov Keep and Albion, were available on the CTE, but during the Gamescom live stream yesterday, we saw footage of a brand new map, Tsaritsyn, which takes place during the Russian Revolution, which is a word that Battlefield is throwing around like a 4-letter word that chicks love to hear. This map looks like a snowy version of Amiens or Priste Tehor, as if they're running out of ideas for design, even though there's less maps released for this game than even Titanfall 2 has for free. We also got new screenshots of Galicia, which has been previously detailed, and Volga River, the final map in the Russian DLC that also takes place during the Russian Revolution, but looks more like yet another map set in World War I without trenches, although for the Eastern Front it's actually appropriate because it was too fucking cold to actually dig them. Speaking of Revolution, there was a new trailer that was uploaded to the Battlefield YouTube channel that detailed the new Revolution edition of Battlefield 1, which is basically the Ultimate Edition for people that waited 10 months to buy the game. It comes with the base game premium and all the bonuses for only $60, which basically means that Premium Pass owners prior to this shelled out an extra $50 for early access to 1 full DLC and 3/4 of another map pack without new vehicles or weapons or game modes. Even though everyone hates Premium between Revolution and Premium Friends, those people that took the plunge to shell out money for a product to be named later are rightfully pissed off. Why would you fuck over the people that gave your company the leeway to do more with increased revenue? I understand that DLC map servers are underpopulated, especially operations, although that probably has more to do with the shitty matchmaking than anything else, but you can't rob Peter to pay Paul here. Anyways, the trailer does also include the first glimpses into the last 2 DLCs, Turning Tides, set to be released in December of this year, and Apocalypse in early 2018 that just seem to be generic water and trench footage. The calendar of content also includes an October Operations Campaigns update, perhaps these are new war stories for people that actually play the single player, a November update which will have less fixes in it because the monthly schedule thing doesn't allow for bigger fixes, and I guess they want to get back to the monthly naming convention even though that hasn't been the case with the past 3 patch iterations. And coming in September is the Incursions Alpha, which is the new competitive mode for Battlefield 1. Instead of doing things like every other FPS game on the planet with the esports aspirations, DICE decided that it was a good idea to wait on a competitive 5v5 game mode for Battlefield 1 until almost a full year after launch, although at least it's earlier than Squad Obliteration, a year and a half after Battlefield 4 launched, considering that the other 5v5 game modes purposefully made for competitive and past Battlefield titles like Defuse in Battlefield 4 or Rescue and VIP in Battlefield Hardline were less popular than the President's response to white supremacy marches. I don't understand why DICE is going through all this trouble to shoehorn something into a game that isn't designed like a competitive FPS in the first place. Random bullet deviation, low headshot multipliers, maps, and modes designed to take advantage of the sheer size and chaos of the game all mean less emphasis on skill and coordination of your team. Anyways, the closed alpha signups are now available, and the game mode is something new that's sort of like Conquest, but has point scaling for things like squad wipes and taking out vehicles, along with having a draft for kits, which are pre-designed classes so that you don't have the standard 5 medic squad composition. Although, most of the responses on the new competitive subreddit AMA were the wait until it comes out and you'll see variety, which kind of defeats the point of an AMA in the first place, right? Also coming soon is the introduction of squad specializations, much like the perk system in previous Battlefield titles, that was shown in the Incursions trailer. Why this wasn't a feature on launch with a game as bare bones as Eugenia Cooney is beyond me, but this has been live for the past few weeks on the CTE, which by the way is finally now available on consoles. The perk choices aren't only specific to classes like in Hardline and Battlefield 4, but you have a choice of 3 from 7 generic ones and 2 class-specific ones. I won't list all of them here, but some of the more head-scratching ones include Concealed Rescue for medics, whereby downed allies drop a smoke when they die, kind of like the Snoop Dogg of Martyrdom, and Controlled Demolition so that you can detonate TNT sequentially, as if you'd ever need that. I don't understand why DICE is focusing on this type of bullshit that nobody is requesting, instead of making the base game actually better, or, you know, putting more content to the game so it's not as stale as a Corona, which is beer that is purposely skunked due to it being in a glass bottle. Stop drinking shitty beer. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the Battlefield 1 updates. I've been the Schwantz27, out like Steven Metz. Until next time.